It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this coming week ahead. I'm doing this a day earlier than usual, so it's technically for tomorrow, the 2nd of August through to Tuesday the 8th of August. We can recap on Tuesday the 1st of August card as well from last week's video. I'll be out all day tomorrow, so it was either do it today or I wouldn't get to do the video. So welcome to you. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Tuesday the 1st of August here, and the time is 10:32 a.m. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards that I created. I've got two decks combined here. So we've got Animal Kingdom Oracle and the Speed of Light Oracle are the black cards. They've been combined to make this 110 card deck. So I'll be using this deck to lay out some cards and find the best cards that we need, the majority of us need for this week ahead. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general everyone. So I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust something shared supports you at this time and as you move through the week ahead. So before I pull the cards, then it may start in 2 days for you, but I just want to recap just the tail end of last week's reading, which is still current for now, and the card that came up for Tuesday the 1st of August is the fox, and the fox reminds us to find a way to carve out a new pathway for ourselves now. So there is this feeling of carving through the jungle, carving through the landscape, paving a new path for ourselves as we move forward. So there's a highly motivated energy to the fox. And if you want to, please go back. If you haven't watched it or if you haven't seen it for a few days, maybe go back and watch the video guidance for last week that goes up to the 1st of August. So our theme as well for last week was the shark, or still is current, the shark, the tiger shark. And the tiger shark reminds us to keep our heart open. So was a lot of energy coming through last week, talking about keeping ourselves open to receiving, open to carving out that new path for ourselves, open to change, open to abundance coming in, that sort of thing. So let's now turn our attention to this new 2nd of August through to Tuesday the 8th of August. So I'm asking the cards to show us, the majority of us, what we need to know for this week coming up. So what do we need to know for the week starting 2nd till the 8th of August 2023? And the best cards are these. And I'm going to just lay them face down here for a moment. Or face down, and then I'll turn them over in a moment. Okay, so we've got 3 and then 4. So it looks like we've got 4 Animal Kingdoms, 3 Speed of Light. Okay, I'm going to turn these over now. Oh, we're starting with the dragon. We haven't had a dragon for a while, so hit us with your dragon predictions. Dragons are all the elements: earth, air, fire, water, and the spirit dragon. So which dragon do you think it is that's come up? I'm going to get to that very soon because it's the first card. But we've got 2 featured cards as well. So we're going to honour these first. We've got the shaman. And the shaman has further instructions here which say to fan out the deck and choose another card. So I'm just going to fan out the deck and I'm going to grab this card. Filters to go with shaman. And then the other featured card, hi Nadine, Earth is your prediction. And the other featured card is the tiger dreaming. It has further instructions here which say to take the bottom card from the deck. So that's easy. I can just pick up my deck and go that. The wolf goes with the turtle. What an interesting little pair. All right, so we've got all our cards out for the week. And we're starting with Wednesday, the 2nd of August, and our dragon is the water dragon, card 24. And it says diving into new depths. So the dragons are the most powerful cards in the deck. So out of 110 cards, there are 5 dragons, and this is representing or suggesting that this is a powerful time, especially on Wednesday. A powerful time, especially a powerful time connecting with the water element. So we're looking at water element, we're looking at emotions, we're looking at creativity, we're looking at dropping into the depths within ourselves. I like to call it dropping into my inner oceanic realm, dropping deeper and deeper and deeper into myself. Where or how deep can I go inside? It's something actually I really crave in, not crave, it's something that really motivates me in life across the board with all aspects of my life, is to go deeper. How can I go deeper into myself? So that's something that's really deep for me and important for me. So what are you needing to go deeper with on Wednesday? Maybe I do find actually when I'm really pulled to go deep into myself, I'm looking for something. I might be on a bit of a quest, or I might have some questions that I'm trying to get clarity on, but I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something, and when I find it, and when it drops into place, when the clarity comes, it tends to bring a deeper sense of meaning and purpose and understanding about a situation. So it's like dropping beneath the surface now, dropping under the superficial, or under what we're seeing on the surface, under how we see things to be perhaps, and dropping deeper. And what's the deep meaning here? So if you're looking for meaning, if you're looking for purpose, if you're looking for yourself, then Wednesday feels very favorable to make some time. We have to make time for it, because we can easily get busy just tending to life things. That we actually, that's a big theme actually at the moment, is making time and putting in the effort that we need to nourish our relationships, to make changes in our life, and in this case, to drop deeper into ourselves. So if you want some answers, if you want some meaning, if you want to find yourself, you can find it by dropping into yourself. So breathing and dropping inward. So you could meditate and drop in. You could just relax and contemplate for a little bit and follow your breath into yourself. See how deep you can go. I think of my heart as like a big ocean. I think of my body as like this ocean, and I just sink deeper. And another visual that may work for you as well, especially if you're not used to going into yourself, is you could perhaps imagine that you've got a nice comfortable chair in your heart, and you imagine yourself through your breathing and through imagination that you're dropping into your heart and settling into and sitting in this comfortable chair in your heart. And how does it feel in there? Does it feel dark, like there are things to explore, like there are things to bring into the light, like there are mysteries in your heart? Because depth, there's also mystery, there's darkness, there's void, there's infinity, sort of this infinite space to explore when we drop into the depths. So if that's new for you, maybe make some time to just try going a little bit deeper than you usually do, and then see how that feels for you. So the water dragon serious. I mean, this feels like serious support, to support us now, taking ourselves into those deeper levels within us, which then will take us into deeper levels in our life and in our relationships. So that's for Wednesday. Thursday, the 3rd of August, we have the bear, and the bear is card 43, and it reminds us to move out of the rut. So if you've been a bit too stuck in your comfort zone, if you've been in hermit mode for quite a long time, if you're feeling bored with life or stagnant or stuck, then the bear is enticing you out of your comfort zone, out of your rut, and into something new. New experiences, meeting new people, getting out into the world, bringing your gifts and your skills that you do in private out into the world a little more than usual, a little more than normal. So if you've been feeling rut-like, then the bear is showing that it's very favorable on Thursday to move out of the rut, to move out of hiding. Because the rut, when we're in a rut, we've probably been in our hiding place for some reason. And that's where the deep energy sits really nicely, because we can ask ourselves why. Why have we been in a rut? Why are we hiding away? Why are we holding back? And when we have those types of questions, we can drop deeper in meditation or just deep into ourselves to find the answers. And that will help us further understand ourselves. Why have we dropped into the rut? Why are we hiding away or holding back? When we get the answer to that, that's very revealing and shows us quite a lot about ourselves that then we can then use in our life in the future as we move forward. Friday, the 4th of August, we have the cheetah, card 4, ching, and it says to focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths on Friday, the 4th of August, is the cheetah's message. What are your strengths? This might also be, it's taking me again back to that water dragon. Do you know what your strengths are? If you know what your weaknesses are, that can also propel you into understanding what your strengths are. I like to look at things, the opposite of things as well. So I might contemplate and try and stay aware of what my strengths are, but also aware of what my weaknesses are. And am I interested in trying to strengthen those weaknesses? Am I interested in letting my strengths pull me through, especially to support those weaker areas of myself? So what are your strengths on Friday? And how can you really embody those? There's a confidence that wants to come in with our strengths for Friday. So what are you strong at? What are you skilled at? What are you competent in? What are you experienced in? And maybe if it's helpful for you and you are figuring out yourself, which I wouldn't be surprised, just so far from what I'm feeling here of the cards, it might help you to journal on Friday or any time and ask yourself, what are my strengths? And list them. What are you good at? And then perhaps list, okay, what are my weaknesses? What am I not so good at that's loud at the moment? How can I bring strength to those? Or what do I need to do to balance those out a little bit or a lot? So the cheetah, focus on your strengths for Friday. Saturday, so we're moving into the weekend. Saturday, we have these two cards. I've come up together for a reason, so let's look at them separately first. The shaman, card 17. I'm pretty sure this came up last week. Not 100%. I've done a lot of readings this last week, so it could have been in a different situation. But the shaman says down here, solitude, grounding, mending, privacy, and reassess. Saturday might be a great time to find some quiet time, to reflect, to contemplate, to heal, to mend, if that's what we need, but perhaps especially to reassess our life. So when I'm in assessment mode like this, I'm thinking past, present, future. So I get out my journal and I contemplate and I sit with, and I might even think about it for the day or for a few days. And I consider what's led me to here. And I ask myself that in my journal. What's led me to here? In other words, what's led me to or brought me to this point in my life? Where have I come from to get to this point? In other words, past that's led me here. What have I done? What decisions have I made? What have my strengths been? What risks have I taken? What's worked out? What hasn't worked out? All these things I will contemplate. And these should be things that I'm quite aware of because I've already walked through them. So I should be able to list a fair few things. Depends if I'm looking back over the last week or if I'm looking back over the last year, then I should have a fair idea of what I've done to get to this point in my life. What have I achieved? What have I been through? What have I learned? That sort of thing. And then as part of that assessment, I also look at where I am now. So where do I find myself now in the present? How do I feel? Am I happy to keep going on the path the trajectory that I'm on, where my past has led me to here? Do I want to keep following that path? Or is it time now for me to make some changes and to assess things? Am I feeling balanced? Am I getting too stressed out? Am I too overwhelmed or too pressured? I need to look at how I'm feeling now. And then that can help me decide or list down the potential of what I want moving forward, which is into the future. So if I'm assessing where I am now and the path that's led me to here, and I could keep following that path, then things will keep going down that same track. So if something's led me to here that is super stressful and I'm overwhelmed and pressured by and it's just too much, then during my assessment, I need to determine that and then maybe make some tweaks or adjustments to my path now to help shift my trajectory. So I find that extremely valuable to do, and I probably do it every couple of months or when I'm called to, when there's changes afoot. So stepping back, we may feel withdrawn a bit on Saturday. We may not feel that sociable in general, maybe not all day, but we may just feel like we just want to sit quietly in our room or quietly in ourselves to really contemplate where we're at and where we're going. And it comes up with the filters card, card 26, and it says beliefs, cancel, delete, clarity, and awareness. Clarity is really big at the moment, and I find this another really strong energy. So there's a lot of energy around putting time and effort into things. There's also a lot of energy around clarity, and especially in regards to decisions or questions that we have at this time, decisions that we may be needing to make, or choices that are before us. And it may be important on Saturday when we are assessing and contemplating and we're making time, 10 minutes, a couple of hours, whatever we can manage on Saturday or around that time period to really assess and contemplate things. It might be helpful for us to really think about the decisions that and the questions that we have right now about life, about our life, about ourselves, because we need to be, I find it helpful to be really clear about the question. Oh, hi Jane, hi Valentina. Be really clear about the question, and then the answer will likely be clearer that comes to us, which is the clarity. So if you're confused about something, try and pinpoint a really clear question. What are you confused about? What are you afraid of? That sort of thing. Because when you're really clear about that question, clarity comes much clearer. When we're a bit unsure and we're juggling confusing questions, then the clarity coming at us can also be a bit confusing. So if you're looking for clarity, maybe take some time on Saturday to make sure your questions are really clear. What is it that you want? What is it that you're not happy with? What changes do you need to make? What are you afraid of? Really clear questions like that, and then sit and feel for the answers, and the clarity will come. The filters too is about shifting our perspective in regards to how we're viewing things. It could be how we're seeing ourselves, how we're seeing others, how we're seeing life, how we're seeing things. How we see things are filtered through our beliefs and our issues and our fears and our insecurities and all that sort of stuff. So if we're not seeing things clearly, or we're not perceiving things how they really truly are, then that's going to distort how we see things and distort how we see ourselves. So let's make sure too on Saturday that we're super clear and seeing things, seeing ourselves, seeing others for how or who we truly are, so that we can make a better decision too. If everything's distorted and we're wounded and we're seeing things through jaded or distorted eyes, then it's also going to be difficult to get the clarity forward, because we're not perceiving things clearly or how they really are. So then the clarity also comes back, or the answers, we could say, to our questions come back also very muddied. So let's make sure on Saturday we are seeing things truly, how they truly are. And that could be something that we ask on Saturday, or even now. I want to see things for how they truly are. I want to see how this really is. I want to see the truth of myself, the truth of this relationship, or the truth in my life. It's why I mentioned recently, I don't know if it was in a guidance video like this or one of my healing support videos, But it's really important to me, and I find this has worked for me for quite a few years, is that I ask for things that I want to see, things or receive or be aligned with my life in accordance with my highest truth. I want to see things from the perspective of my highest truth, as clearly and honestly as things are, not how I want things to be or how I believe things to be. And if we've had issues in the past, if we've been hurt in the past, then that hurt can, if we're not resolving it, can tend to carry on and then carry through into our life. And then we see other people through our hurt eyes. I've met a lot of women, for example, who have been really hurt by men over and over again. And they come into life, they're living their life with this distorted version of who men are. There are so many beautiful, amazing men out there. But people who are, these women, just as an example, some of these women that I've met in my life, they see men as the wounded version of a man that they've seen through their experience. So our issues can really distort how we see people and how we see ourselves and how we see life. So do your best, if it's important to you, to try and see things for how they really are. Someday, finally, we can probably catch our breath a little bit because it feels quite intense. You know, there's a lot, when we're looking inward, when we're dropping deep into ourselves, it's quite intense, and especially if it's a new thing. If we're not doing it often, then it can be quite confronting, quite deeply healing. And so on Sunday, the 6th of August, we've got the Purification card, which is card 8, and it says cleanse, detoxification, and toxins. So this is a purging opportunity on Sunday, a time to take the opportunity to let go and take the opportunity to surrender and release what we've been holding on to. So whether it be our issues that have been distorting how we see others or how we see things, whether it be our the lack of clarity that we have in our questions that we're asking, whether it be the distractions that we are distracted by in our life that are taking us away from ourselves, whether it be focusing too much on our weaknesses and too much on the things that we're not so competent in, that then makes us feel low in ourselves and we lack self-belief, our confidence is affected, instead focusing on our strengths. And so all the things that are revealed this week so far, which could be quite a lot, we're being encouraged to look at really purging and washing those things away by the time we get to Sunday, and letting go of that hold that these things have on us. And there are so many different ways we could do that, but probably the best way to start, I find, is working with the power of my breath and breathing out and letting go, and really holding that intention that as I breathe this breath out, I'm letting go. And you know, when I'm in the peak of healing, and when I was doing a lot of healing, because I was shifting a lot of these issues I'm talking about, I don't have to do it quite so much now because I've been doing it for so long and I'm in quite a balanced state for most of the time. But when I was in the peak time of healing and I was dealing with these issues intensely, because I wanted to improve myself, I wanted to be a better person, and I wanted to live a balanced life, then I spent a lot of time every day letting go. It wasn't something that I let everything escalate and I got into a really low place, then I had to try and let go there all at once. I tried to do it, and it worked for me to maintain this regularly. So if this is something pretty new to you and you've got a lot of issues that you're dealing with at this time, then I would really recommend letting go and holding the intention to release every single day. And sometimes it's several times a day. At least when you're having a shower, or when you're having a bath, or when you're cleaning your physical body every day, that's a great time to also focus on letting go of the stuff you're holding onto. When you're cleaning up, when you're vacuuming or washing the dishes or cleaning the clothes or just tidying up things, you can use that physical activity as a way to also clear up yourself. So I can't recommend highly enough how valuable it is to focus on your letting go and your releasing, your surrendering. It's the same sort of thing regularly, like really super regularly, daily. if you can, and see if that works for you. Try it for a few weeks and see if that helps you shift things so you're not holding on, because the opposite of letting go is holding on. And holding on stops the flow of energy. It stops the energy moving. We become stuck and stagnant when we hold on. So I found the more I hold on, the more things freeze. And I don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling stuck and stagnant and hovering in my problems or issues. I have to face it honestly, and I have to let go. I have to let my hold go. I have to release. I have to release. To release is to relax. It releases the tension that we feel. And it's so much better to live a life where we're free of those things than constantly having that tension. So Sunday, or start today, purging, releasing, letting go. Now Monday, there seems to be a bit of a breakthrough here. We've got the condor for Monday the 7th of August. The condor is card 50, and it says to expand your horizons. Now, first of all, the condor feels super balanced. See how it's black and white and it's symmetrical here. It feels super balanced. And this is what comes from our dedication to healing, self-healing, and our dedication to letting go and improving ourselves and aligning with our highest truth is balance. And when we're in that state of balance, it's uplifting, like the condor. The condor is high in flight. It's uplifting in this state of balance. And we start feeling it more. So it might just be for a fraction of a day to begin with, and then it becomes a majority of our day, if not all of it. And it's such a nicer place to be living, is in that state of balance. So expand your horizons on Monday. Find your way, make your way towards your heightened balanced state. If this is something you want, in your life, make your way towards it. And it feels like something's freeing up on Monday to allow us to do that. And it's probably all this pent up energy that we're releasing that I've already been talking about. This is also talking about expanding or extending our tunnel vision. So be careful on Monday that we're not looking at something, especially something in our future, or the way something seems, but it seems to be looking ahead. Let's be careful that we're not thinking it's a certain way that's very tunnel visioned. The condor is very much about expanding that vision and looking at the whole horizon, not just through tunnel vision. So be careful on Monday that you're not seeing your potential future through tunnel vision. Does it have to be? Is it really that tunnel visioned for you? Or is it just how you think it should be? And is there a way you can let your blinkers down, like the draft horse, let the blinkers go off your peripheral vision so that you can see more of the bigger picture, more of the horizon? Hi, Melanie. So you can see more. There's more options, more potentials available if we can just take the blinkers off and release our tunnel vision. So what are you perceiving? What are you seeing? And if you think it's black and white, if you think it has to be an exact certain way, question that. Does it have to be an exact certain way? You might come back to what you first originally thought, but it's good to consider all options. There might be something better out there for you that's waiting for you to just notice it. It's quite funny, isn't it? Because sometimes that happens. It's quite crazy. Okay, our last day of the week coming up is Tuesday, the 8th of August. So it's our power day, the 8th of the 8th. And we have the turtle and the wolf, both quite strong animals. Let's look at these guys separately first. Turtle Dreamings, card 45. And it says serious, clarification, concentrate, and specific. The turtle means business. It's time to get serious now. It's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop avoiding and denying ourselves of the truth or how we really feel. It's time to stop. It's time to stop distracting ourselves now. It's time to concentrate and get really specific about what we want and get really serious about it now. There's something very serious, like wake up now. It's almost like a fish slap or a slap across the cheek saying, just wake up out of it. So there's this really serious element to the turtle, and it comes up with the wolf card 48, who says to secure those boundaries. Secure your boundaries on Tuesday. So your boundaries, what will you allow in to your space and what won't you allow into your space? And we're coming up with the turtle here. It's really about getting serious about what we let in. What we let in that affects us. And it might be time to be serious about not letting certain things in that pull us down or weigh us down or that we take too personally. And if we've got an issue that reflects that we haven't resolved yet, then it's probably going to affect us. Things affect us, no matter probably how strong our boundaries are. This is coming back to the triggers video that I did yesterday or the day before. So let's get serious about our boundaries. Let's also be careful, because sometimes our boundaries can become defenses that we hide behind. So it's important, I find, to regularly assess my boundaries. And I'm usually assessing them when I'm going through changes. It could be me changing or things in my life are changing. And I might be looking at my routine, how I spend my time, my priorities, how I feel about something now. And that will determine my boundaries, the boundaries I do want to have up. I've seen and have experienced myself in the past when I was more wounded that boundaries can become like castle walls, and we can use that as excuses to stop going outside the castle walls. And the red flag with that I've found is that we do tend to want to try and defend and justify why we won't do something if we're behind these defenses, these castle walls, and they are unhealthy. They may have been healthy at one point when we perhaps needed to survive something, or we were protecting our sensitive, wounded self. But there does come a point where those defensive walls that we probably call boundaries, they become very limiting and we hide behind them. And maybe this is part of this rut that some of us, maybe you have been feeling like you're in, because it's quite interesting, the castle wall sort of defensive boundaries that we can put up. So let's make sure our boundaries are healthy, especially on Tuesday. Let's get serious about our boundaries too. So if we've been a bit relaxed in our boundaries and we've been giving too much of ourselves, or we've been taken advantage of by others, it might be time to get serious now and say no, and really step up and do what's right for us moving forward. That might be part of this energy too. We've got to do what's right for us. And yes, we might give a lot of ourselves, but there are times, and it might not even be a lot of times in our life, where we need to actually say, no, I can't do this anymore. Things have changed for me, and step back. So then we need to have a strong boundary up so we can step back and then divert our attention to wherever it is we want to go. So that energy is quite strong as well. So there are our cards for this week ahead, the 2nd to the 8th of June, August. August. So I trust it supports you. We won't know till we get through our week, but there are certainly things that are already rolling out as we are just a day or two away from this reading week. So thank you for joining me. I am going to pull a theme card. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you would like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you want to grab yourself a deck or two of cards, you can work with these separately, or you can join them together and do what I do here, which is work with a nice big deck. If you want to learn more about these, or my pendants or earrings or meditations, my supportive services, or anything that I offer at Temple of Balance, if you resonate with what I do, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Thank you for your support. Okay, so the best card for the themes. I'm looking for the best theme card for this week for the majority of us, from the 2nd till the 8th of August 2023. And the best theme card is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. Or you have another featured card. It's Medicine Pouch. It has further instructions here which say to fan out the deck and pull another card. So I'm going to go with this here. Oh, yeah, Sacred Haven. Okay, so Medicine Pouch. We'll look at this first on its own. Card 54. It says resources, gather, knowledge, and collect. This is about saving things, gathering things, looking at our resources this week. If you're considering saving money towards something, then this would definitely be a favourable card for that. Or if you've been looking at your budget and looking at where you can save dollars, that sort of thing's important with this card. Can also be gathering skills or knowledge or information as well, but there is a general sense of things gathering together, of collecting things together, but certainly on a resource level. And it comes up with card 5, Sacred Haven, which says gratitude, connect, reflect, and stand still. This is about stopping and counting our blessings this week. Maybe things are going better than we realize or what we think. So let's stop and take stock this week. Let's stop and smell the roses. Let's take some big breaths and really be grateful for where we find ourselves this week, and really making time to stop and stand still and enjoy what we do have going on. And maybe this is also, if we link these up as a theme, maybe we have more resources available to us than what we realize too. And when we stop and take stock and calculate and see things for how they really are on paper, we might see that actually I have more resources, I have more finances, I have more abundance than what I thought before. And sometimes it is good to do that, because when we're feeling overwhelmed, for example, things can feel really dramatic and really intense and more than what they really are. It's distorting. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I write a list of, oh, my mind makes me think I've got weeks worth of stuff I've got to do. There's like hundreds of things on my list. I don't know how I'm going to do it all. And I'm like, oh, okay, hold on a minute. Let's make a list and just see what this list is. And sometimes I can barely even come up with 20 things. So I think we need to be careful that we're not overwhelming ourselves and thinking that things are worse than they are. Let's take stock. Let's look at the facts. Let's be grateful for what we do have. Things could be much worse, no doubt. So it's a perspective shift really this week. So lots of healing potentially, and it's probably going to be intense. So have a good week. Take care. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary if you're celebrating. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.